Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, 3 types of knowledge that lead to riches.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
I'm sure you've heard of the book, the great book, one of the pinnacle books of self-help literature, Think and Grow Rich. And from that book, we discovered a little nugget of wisdom about the source of great riches. And it was something that we hadn't noticed before. And as we kind of searched around a little bit, nobody else was really talking about it either. So we thought we'd share that with you today. Hi, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. The Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. In this great book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill tells us the root word of the term educate.
As in, I are educated.
That's not the way he put it.
Okay.
But the term educate comes from the Latin word educo.
Educo.
Which means to develop. You are developed. I are developed within. No, it means to develop from within.
Isn't that interesting? I never knew that before.
No.
That's really fascinating to me. So education means to develop from within, not looking at textbooks and other stuff from without. So while we believe strongly in formal education, this reveals why going to school, quotes, I'm doing those air quotes, and, quote, learning, they're not the same. You can go to school and never learn a doggone thing about getting rich. And that you don't have to go to school to learn what you really need to know about getting rich.
Yeah, in fact, you won't learn everything you need to know in school anyway. And you won't learn the most important things for reaching big success. And that's big with 2 G's. You're not necessarily going to learn that in school.
Now let us reiterate, we strongly support higher learning. It's just that you can't delegate your own education. Oh, if only you could. Mm-hmm. You can't delegate education. You and you alone are responsible for it. And the key is to just never stop learning.
Yeah, and there's so many opportunities to learn. And
you know, Mary-Lynn, that's one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life as the entrepreneur, the owner, the person in charge of the company. You know, I would invest lots of money in everybody else to keep their credentials up to date and learn more, etc. And I seldomly invested what I should have in myself. And that's really where it all starts from. You got to learn yourself so that then as you're helping others, you can help them more. Yeah,
and self-learning, continual self-learning is so important, whether you're the boss or the employee.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you don't need 4 walls and a whiteboard.
Oh, I really like the whiteboard, though.
I know. We'll be pulling that out here in a moment. But you do need an open mind and a willing spirit to keep learning. You need a thirst for knowledge that you can use.
And Napoleon Hill, the great author of Think and Grow Rich, he said that general knowledge is of little importance to big success.
And that's big with 2 G's.
It creates a foundation, but it's not enough if you want to be a big success.
With 2 G's. See, we learned in school that you spell big with 2 G's.
That's right.
So, I don't know.
No other way to do it, baby.
All right, so let's pull out the professor's whiteboard for 3 types of knowledge that lead to riches. And it really would be rich if you'd clean out that closet one of these days. You keep saying you're going to.
Yes, well, I don't know if it's going to happen soon, Mary-Lynn. Right. Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about accumulating riches. To be able to do that, your knowledge must be directed. This is according to Napoleon Hill. It must be directed, organized, and applied. By the way, when I say organized, I know you're thinking about that closet.
Right.
But this is talking about your finances, your knowledge, your education, that kind of stuff.
Right. And this is the thing that we didn't really catch before and that we don't see a lot of people talk about when it comes to this book. So let's break down these 3 things that you need to accumulate the riches. Number 1 is directed knowledge.
You must take what you know and learn and apply it to a destination, to a goal, to a place. Where do you want to end up?
So if you just learn, but then you don't take it, you don't direct it to something, then it's just
sitting there.
It's just like air.
Yes, it's like if you picture dead inventory in a store. That's exactly what that knowledge is.
Okay. So number 2 on the professor's whiteboard, to accumulate riches, you need organized knowledge.
Yeah, so once you've directed your knowledge, you must organize it into specific plans of action. What is your strategy to get from where you are to where you want to be?
I think this is where a lot of people get stuck because we like that ideation, that thinking. But now that I've set the direction, I actually need to plan and start working towards that plan.
Yes.
That's not so easy.
Well, and we met with an entrepreneurial couple the other day, and it was just amazing because they've got an idea here and an idea there. They've got this idea, that idea. Oh, we've tried this, and it hasn't done much, but then we got on this one. And it was just, my head was spinning just listening to all the things they had going. And you could just tell they love the part of coming up with the business and, the idea and all that. And that's great. But the thing is, at some point you got to focus in, and that's really a key word right there. You got to focus in on one thing, because the only way you're going to make something work is to work one thing at a time. Once you've succeeded at that, you can do a second thing, but you really got to put your learning into that one thing.
Right, that organized knowledge.
Exactly.
And number 3 on the professor's whiteboard, to accumulate riches, you need applied knowledge.
Once you know where you want to go and you know how you plan to get there, guess what? It's time to go, baby, go. Pass go, collect $200. And in starting, you gain knowledge that you can only gain by acting and applying what you've learned.
All right, so let's review the professor's whiteboard. This comes out of Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. To accumulate riches, you need 3 things. 1, directed knowledge. 2, organized knowledge. And 3, applied knowledge. Now, let me just say, these things are all good, Professor. These are going to help you get from idea to destination. But does this guarantee riches? As we said, these are the 3 things you need for riches.
Boy, you're going to hit me with a tough question towards the end of the show. Well, here's the thing. I will say I've counseled many people with this because, the tendency, I think, especially I come from the world of finance. So we are money people, right? So we look at money. And I can't tell you how many students I've had who's like, well, this is the highest paying career. I'm going to get a job in that. And then I'll ask them like, well, what do you really love to do? What is it that you really want out of life? Some just basic questions. And what you come to learn is that what I've witnessed over the years is that if the person just follows their passion, most of the time they're going to be willing to work harder. It's going to be more in tune with who they really are, more aligned, and they're going to find that they're going to rise to the top and make more money than they would take in the high-paying job, which, by the way, 3 years from now is not going to be the highest-paying job. Something else will have come along, and the world's changed, right? So I guess to answer your question, it's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. But the thing is, if you're doing what you're truly happy doing, it's a different kind of riches, but it's still riches.
A much richer life.
Absolutely. So remember this, general knowledge won't get you far down the path to riches. All the knowledge in the world, all the direction, and all the organization does you no good unless it's applied. And it takes all 3 to reach big success.
Some of the best knowledge you can gain is learning more about yourself. Take our free life purpose quiz. You'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com. And join us next time. We're going to share 3 things to unlearn from school.
And we feel richly rewarded that you listened to our show today.
Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find Big Success at BIGGsuccess.com.